don't normally cover the comics in review form, but Darth Vader issue number 8 just had too much cool stuff in it to ignore. The story right now is centered around Jocasta Nu, the chief librarian of the Jedi. In Star Wars Legends, she was killed almost immediately in Order 66. That's been changed for canon, but she's still been set up as a priority target for Darth Vader and his Inquisitors to hunt down and destroy. In issue number 7, we saw that Jocasta was already busy working on rebuilding the Jedi Order by creating a very small and secret academy. The only thing it's missing is students. Unfortunately, in order to get those students, she needs to return to the Jedi Temple. She's able to do so and sneaks past the Grand Inquisitor, who's busy reading over the secrets the Jedi wouldn't let him see before. A little background real quick, he was a temple guard that was upset about the Jedi keeping some information about the Force restricted. That sounds like the pain point Palpatine was able to hit to ease him into joining the dark side. Anyway, Jocasta leaves him alone and sneaks into a hidden passage in the Jedi Archives. That's right, the Jedi Temple has the space version of those bookcases where you pull a book and a door opens up. So cool. Inside, she's hiding a collection of various artifacts, including some Sith holocrons and a familiar-looking helmet. The helmet is actually what made me geek out the most. Charles Soule writes this comic book, and he also wrote the Lando series, which is awesome if you haven't read it. In one issue, Lando and his crew break into a vault of the Emperor's to find some darkside relics, and guess what's sitting front and center? That exact same helmet. The Jedi had a pretty good reason for keeping it hidden because it has some pretty terrifying powers that seem an awful lot like possession. According to an antiquities expert, that mask was most likely made by Lord Momin, an ancient Sith sculptor. In that same case are 2 Sith holocrons, and one of them resembles a holocron from Star Wars Legends. The yellow and black one looks a lot like the Dark Holocron, which had history covering thousands of years. I'm not saying the holocron in this issue is that same holocron with the same history. Instead, I think it's probably just a visual nod. Right next to the case looks like a giant Sith holocron. This actually isn't unheard of, and the canon reference book Complete Locations claims that Palpatine actually had one of his own that he recovered from Moraband. As awesome and geeky as all that stuff is, Jocasta Nu isn't there for any of it. She's there for the database of every Force-sensitive child the Jedi knew of. That makes sense because she needs to find students. This is similar to the plot in the Clone Wars, where Cad Bane stole a Kyber memory crystal that held the same information from the Holocron Vault. As Jocasta leaves, she comes across the Grand Inquisitor again, and although she resists, she can't help but confront him after witnessing him insult and desecrate the knowledge she once protected. Vader is also on his way, so I expect her time is coming to an end, and unfortunately that list of children will likely be kept by the Sith. We know from the book Ahsoka that the Inquisitors were already on the hunt for Force-sensitive children as early as 1 year after the events of Revenge of the Sith. That list will give them a solid start. And since we know that in about 20 years' time that Sith helmet will be part of the Emperor's collection, I have to imagine the rest of those holocrons and Force relics will not be hidden for long. I hope we get a better look at all of them because that little tease was almost too much for me to handle. But that's it for today. What do you guys think of the hidden Sith artifacts in the Jedi Temple? Do you have any ideas about what they are? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out my Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.